Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
Strange intro.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Apologies.
That's it. Okay, good start. We're saying sorry already. Fantastic. Well, as usual, we will of course be taking you through the news, the new releases, a bit of what we've been playing. And our feature this week is sort of a look at the end of 2022 and the games we're excited for as we finish this year off.
Yeah, I think that's a nice feature to be doing right now because we've got a couple of... Well, we're entering games season. Like, this is February, March all over again. This is quality game season coming in right now.
It really is, and new releases is absolutely stacked. And
yeah, I know we say this quite often, but this is one of the most stacked weeks that I can remember of
since
new
February,
releases.
most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, there was sort of a week between the big ones. This one's got a few all together. So
Yeah. That's
going to be good. But before we jump into the news, we should, of course, mention that, Ben, you're going to be streaming again, aren't you?
Yep. Stream's going well. Dead Space 2. It was a good stream, I think, before the last one. So it was our second one on Dead Space. So we're about 4 hours in. I'm not sure how long the game is. I'm assuming like 10 hours or something. So a few more streams left. But Dead Space 2, can't say it enough, holds up great. Appreciate the people who are tuning in for it. So yeah, good stuff. Let's carry it on. It's 7 p.m. Thursdays. That's probably the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, that is the key bit to get across.
Twitch and YouTube, 7 p.m. Thursdays.
Fantastic. And I suppose we should get on to the quick news then.
Let's do it. Okay. Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden. They finally got a release date. So we all know that Persona 5 and 3 and 4 are coming to various other consoles, the new modern consoles. And they got a release date for January. So that's pretty good. Persona 5, not to spoil new releases, but it's coming out in about a week. So
massive spoilers.
Good. Spoilers for later on. The latest Elden Ring patch seems to mention 2 new areas thought to be in future DLC. So people have looked at the patch, they've looked into it, whether it's notes or what's behind it all, and there's 2 new areas. That's quite exciting, isn't it?
Hugely so, yes.
Yeah, if it's two new proper areas, that would be pretty fucking sweet. But and that would inspire me probably to do a 3rd or 4th playthrough to get a new character.
4th, yeah.
Yeah, to get a new character.
You're going to do another new one. How many more builds can you do, Ben?
To be honest, like I tried to do different builds, and then I always go back to like bleed build or magic build was my first, and then it was bleed, and then it was like, well, and you've got like the ultimate build in the fucking world, Pete, haven't you? So
I do min-max. Yes, that is how I play.
Yeah,
this.
see, now you've just got bleed. A build. You've just got a build.
It was bleed, and then became all the status effects all the time. Which is just
honestly, Pete, I think you'd have to do another character because I think no matter what they do, you'll just be too over-leveled. Like, you won't enjoy it as much. You'll be too OP.
I don't know. I don't mind walking around Elden Ring like I'm a god. That works for me.
Yeah. Fair play. Next one. Now, this is a bit out of date because A Plague Tale Requiem spoilers have leaked online, and I was going to say, avoid them like the plague. But by the time this comes out, the game will actually be out, so... Yeah.
If you haven't avoided them thus far, we're too late to warn you, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. But I just wanted to say avoid them like the plague. So
yes, I feel like you've only kept that in just so you could do that joke now.
Yeah, entirely.
Else you would
definitely
delete it. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. And I know you appreciate it, so that's good. Next one, Fallout 3 and Evoland Legendary Edition are free on Epic Store next week. Now, this is how you can tell that the quick news wasn't that populated until like today, because I had what was free on Epic Store as one of the quick news, because I was like, shit, we got no fucking news. But anyway, those are free. I know, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Fallout 3. And
Fallout 3 is a good one as well, right? That's the that's the Megatown one, I think, isn't it?
It's your favourite, isn't it? Yeah, it is, yeah. That's right.
That's the Capital Wasteland.
Oh yeah, it's not my favourite. I'd say my favourite's 4.
Oh, really?
And Pete's favourite's New Vegas, but no, Fallout 3 was bloody good. In fact, it's probably, I reckon that's the game that got everyone into the Fallout series.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, definitely for us.
I think you could be right there. Next one, Miles Morales is coming to PC on the 18th of November, so it's finally got a date. I recently played that on stream. I wasn't too impressed with it. But
I was gonna say you didn't enjoy it that much. So
no, I didn't.
I thought you liked that game.
I like Spider-Man.
So did
he. Yeah, and I thought it as well. Like, I like the Spider-Man game on PS4. I thought that was fucking fantastic when I played it. Miles Morales, I just feel like they just focused on action and it wasn't really anything more to it. And it was just like, go to an area, defeat 50 people, move on. And it's like, just...
Yeah, you wanted a library scene again, didn't you?
Yeah, walk around in the library. Yeah, I thought it was a bit shit. But anyway.
I'm not stop getting excited about these because every time I see one of these and I get excited, and then I go on Steam and I see that it's 50 quid. So
yeah, oh boy, yeah, it's.
If you told me this a month ago, I'd have got really excited. And
if you're gonna buy anyone, Eddie, if you're gonna get excited about anyone, just the actual Spider-Man.
Right, okay, yeah, that'll probably Steam. Be 55 quid.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, definitely, 100%. But don't spend 2 lots of 55, just the one.
Just the one lot, and if it's one,
just the one.
save
you there. Save you there. Don't go for Miles Morales.
I'm still waiting for fucking Days Gone to go down from 45. So
I bought Days Gone on CD keys the other week for £12.
Oh, £12. That's an Eddie price. That.
Yeah, I got it. So I've got it on Steam Deck.
I was going to say, I think I saw you playing it on Steam the other day. So
yeah, I certainly was. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Next one, EA have shown off more of EA Sports PGA Tour coming spring 2023. Now, I'd actually forgotten about this game because we obviously had 2K23, which came out last week. This game looks fucking awesome. It looks graphically insane. You could play all 4 majors, all the major tournaments. It looks brilliant. I don't know if either of you guys, because I know both of you like golf games, have you seen this at all?
I actually haven't.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you get a chance, definitely check this out because they've got some good little trailer and.
But you can't see any gameplay though, can you, Ben? So.
Yeah, but it's all in engine. It's all in engine.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not. The reason why I'm being hesitant and I'm not advertising this is because it looks stunning. Absolutely looks. It looks beautiful. But with these golf games, it's all about the. I played 2 of the golf games, didn't I, this year? One was the Rory one, and then one that I'd love to see how many hours I put into it. If Kirk
2K22 you played.
Yeah, well, I still play it. Yeah. I literally played it today for probably about half an hour. I play it every day, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a quality golf game too. 2K22.
So it just shows that I was left really disappointed with the Rory McIlroy one. So I think it's all about gameplay with this.
The Rory McIlroy one. This is the successor to that, and that was in 2015.
Yes, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll be 8 years.
But it's all about the gameplay. If they're not...
Yeah, but I'm not surprised that 2K22 has evolved the gameplay a little bit from...
Okay, I see.
All right, let's move it on. And next one, finally, we are getting some official Silent Hill announcements set for Wednesday. So if you're listening to this podcast today, then, there's a Silent Hill kind of showcase. Finally, the fans are getting something. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, indeed.
And lastly, Sasha Grey is to voice Ash in the new Cyberpunk DLC that's coming out. What's it called, Pete? The Phantom Liberty something?
Phantom Liberty, I think is right.
Yeah. So I'm literally rewatching all of Entourage at the moment. I'm on season 7 right now, which Sasha Grey is in. So that's,
I just had to type her in. She was the porn star in. Well, isn't she a porn star in real life? Is that right?
Not anymore. No, she's a Twitch streamer. She's really good. And she's in. She was in Entourage.
You ruined that. I was going to ask Ben to explain to our audience who Sasha Grey was.
Right. I didn't have to do that then.
Where would they know her from? Go back far.
I would have said she's a very successful Twitch streamer.
I do remember when she came onto Entourage and Ben went like, I can't believe she's on. And I was like, I don't know who she is. And then Ben had to explain that to me. So let's.
Whoa! And is that in the memory banks? I don't know. I don't know if that's in the memory banks. Like you're just making shit up there. But she's a successful Twitch streamer. That's pretty cool that she's in Cyberpunk. It's cool. It's good stuff.
Yes, indeed.
That's all the quick news.
Fantastic! I love it.
Is it weird that I don't like Sasha, whatever her face is, because I didn't like her character in
Entourage.
Because she was
because Vince, it's the
Vince
series
turned
we
a bit of
all
a
don't
dick,
like.
didn't he?
It's not her fault. It's just that
It's not her fault. But
Vinny wasn't Vince. You know.
Yeah. Good. In summary, fuck Sasha Grey.
Whoa. No, I quite like her. She's an excellent streamer.
Okay. Right, are we good, guys? Can we move on to real news?
Let's move on. What was real news? Jesus.
Yeah,
for a while, and then it wandered into Entourage fanboys, which I'm all for.
I know, I fucking love Entourage. Pete.
Love Entourage. We shouldn't have made that. It was a bit of a dick show.
God. Yeah. So, in the main news, PlayStation 5 hits 2 million sales in the UK. So this is basically at the same rate as the PS3, despite this price increase we were annoyed by a few months ago.
Yeah.
So this was 2 million units in 98 weeks. And that's what we got, which is the joint fourth fastest selling console in the UK. And we should bear in mind, by the way, that this obviously has been hampered by stock shortage, and also had the price increase by £30 in August, which was blamed on inflation, understandably. But it's still managing to keep pace with PS3. Now, are we surprised by that?
Wasn't it Kurt that said their sales will be massively affected by this because of the price increase? I believe.
I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did, but
he did in a big argument with you on WhatsApp.
I mean, obviously, I'm not sure if he did say that, so I'm not gonna. He's not here to defend himself, so I'm not sure if he did. But
that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah. But I mean, the price increase was. I mean, this probably isn't. If that were going to affect anything, there's not enough time for it to have affected anything. Yes. I don't think it would affect anything because at that price, you're already through the looking glass. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah. I don't know whether this is like. To be honest, when I saw 2 million to start with, I was like, 2 million doesn't sound like. I know they've been hampered by all the production
as well.
Oh yeah, of course. But I thought more would have been sold. But it is obviously production issues that have stopped that. Do you reckon it could have sold 4 million if there weren't any issues? I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. So what was in looking at this, the most interesting thing for me was actually that the UK's fastest console to 2 million was the Wii.
Yeah,
in 57 weeks.
Yeah,
just over a year.
Yeah, but it was about half the price.
it was, and it was also that phase where everyone got
everyone wanted it.
Yes,
everyone got one.
Yeah.
And then the PS2 was only 60 weeks, so it only took 3 weeks longer, which is pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, so it does actually look amazing, doesn't it? Because they had all these production issues, but the PS2 and PS3, which I'm not sure about the production issues with those. I can't remember anything, so if you know otherwise. But I'm working off the assumption that PS5 has had the most production issues and has still hit that number. So that is pretty impressive on the face of it then.
Massively so, I would say. I mean, we should also add in things like Xbox One was 104 weeks. Right. So still faster than that, even though back then I don't think there were production issues for like Xbox One period.
No, but
there definitely wasn't a chip shortage.
No, but there were issues with that launch altogether with the messaging and everything. Because Xbox, other people think that Xbox won the 360 versus PS3 battle. The actual sales were pretty similar between the two, but Xbox seemed to be in a stronger position going into the next gen, but they really fucked it up, didn't they, on launch by saying that it had to be connected to the internet and there was there no back compatibility and all this kind of nonsense that was going on. And that you couldn't share games with other people. You couldn't like give them the disc and it'd be locked to your console. So therefore you couldn't trade games in and everything. They just had a clusterfuck of issues that caused them to have a poor launch.
Yeah.
So
and then the other one I wanted to highlight as well for you, Ben, is that, and it's really annoying because they changed their measurement when they were talking about this one, is that the Switch took 2.69 years. Which I'm guessing is like 135 weeks, 140 weeks.
That is a weird way of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Like, why change it when we're doing weeks on everything?
It's really odd then, because that pace is quite slow, relatively speaking. Yeah. However, I suppose maybe the Switch, I think it was a different time because the Switch wasn't highly anticipated, I would say. Absolutely. And like, I wasn't queuing up at launch to get one. I mean, it was like, I was 3 or 4 weeks after and I was like, oh, go on then, I'll get one. And then it really came to like, I don't know, it's probably 6 months into the Switch's life when it was like, wow, this is actually really fucking cool. Got good games coming out on it, and it really works. So maybe the Switch, people had to just buy into it because it's going to smash the PS4 total.
Like, what was the big handheld console before the Switch as well?
The 3DS was the biggest seller. So what Nintendo essentially did was they had a handheld and they had their home console, and they just said, we're not doing two consoles anymore, and they're going to do one. So if you actually combine those two numbers together, you know, it's like that had to make, the Switch had to make up for those two. So they actually really believed in the Switch concept because they gave up two selling products for one. But the home console market, I mean, the Wii U, what did that sell? Like fucking 12 or 15 million, like so something absolutely fucking garbage. So they're not giving up too much. But the 3DS did big numbers. The 3DS did really big numbers from memory. Or the 2DS, the 2DS/3DS, just those ones. They did massive numbers. So the Switch has, it took a while for people to buy into it. So it's a weird that it took so long, but
I mean, I think it did well out of COVID as well. To be fair, I think.
That is an excellent point. Out of COVID. That is an excellent point. Animal Crossing. How many people do you know bought Switches as a result of Animal Crossing?
People that never picked up a games console before picked that up. Yeah.
Absolutely, and the Switch, I believe, is either on course or has beaten the PS4's. Like PS4's done like 117 odd mil, so I think the Switch is well on course to smashing that, or has already smashed it. So,
okay, fair. But either way, the PS5 basically is keeping pace with the best. That's the key.
Yes, it's up there, isn't it? Meh.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine it slowing down.
Nor do I.
No.
Unless Xbox have an incredible next year.
Starfield coming up.
Absolutely.
I'll do the next one. Gotham Knights is 30 frames per second. That's a nice little title for you. Gotham Knights is a game that's coming out this week, which we'll talk about in the games coming out this week, I guess, section. So I saw this news story in Eurogamer. Gotham Knights will be limited to 30 frames per second and not include a performance mode for consoles on its release later. Well, it says this month, but, this week. This news was confirmed by Gotham Knights executive producer Fleur Marty via Discord. You're very welcome, French people. Here, Marty explained this was due to the type of features included in the game, adding the additional option of a performance mode would not have been as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher frames per second. Marty highlighted the game's highly detailed open world setting and its untethered co-op gameplay as two of the reasons the upcoming game does not have a performance/quality toggle option. She concluded by confirming Gotham Knights will run at 30 frames per second on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. The developer previously confirmed it canned the planned PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the game. I know Kirk will be fucking screaming right now, but what do you guys think?
Well, they're saying, the rumour is that this is because of the Series S holding it back.
Really?
That is the rumour. Now, this is really odd. Like, 30 frames per second, some people can't tell the difference, and that's absolutely fine, and I wish I was one of those people. But 30 frames per second, for me, is rough. Games, especially like games which are really good and detailed graphically, they look bad. I could not play Forbidden West on 30 frames a second, like the graphics mode. It was awful for me. So, but that might be by comparison. I don't really know. This has had such a backlash, and the rumor is, and this is unconfirmed, and people are actually playing it right now, A Plague Tale Requiem is also 30 frames per second.
Really? Wow.
Look, it's rumored.
No,
so
Ben,
by the time
you
this
just
comes
said
out,
that.
absolutely confirmed by Grumpy Games Podcast.
Exclusive.
I mean, that will be known by the time that this podcast releases. So that will either have aged really well or really badly. So it would have gone one of two ways. But if it is true, like, A Plague Tale will just be like, keep quiet, because this has blown up. Like, people saying on PC it's running with fairly reasonable graphics graphical kind of requirements at 60 frames a second.
Yes, it's 60 frames per second on PC.
Yeah, people are saying like, why are the consoles why are they limited? Like, it doesn't make any sense and all this kind of stuff. I've heard different things about to get something running at 60 frames a second, you can allow for like 16 millisecond like delay between frames, and every time that you add something to it, like one of these different features, it adds another kind of couple of millisecond delay. So there's only actually so many things you can get in before you lose the frames per second. But the fact is, this game doesn't look that good. It's almost like famed in every trailer for not looking that great, and the gameplay doesn't look that great. So
it will certainly have an audience, though.
Yes, a lot of people are looking forward to this game, and I think could either be surprisingly good or could be another Anthem type game.
I'm suspecting the latter, but let's see.
Or not Anthem, Avengers could be very Avengers.
Is it because you two aren't? I mean, I'm with you in opinion and my hatred for these kind of games, but do you think maybe our opinions are biased?
I was a big fan of the Arkham
series. We're completely
series.
objective.
I was a big fan initially of the Arkham series.
Fucking hell.
No, I also loved the Arkham series. I thought they were really good games.
I think that type of combat is dated now, that in my mind, like, and it's not. I know this isn't. That's not objectively true, because fucking Spider-Man combat and all that kind of stuff. But I've just come off playing Miles Morales, and I don't want to do that style of combat anymore. Maybe I think I'm right in saying it's that. So I can't be asked of it.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose on this though, it surprises me because they're just reducing the amount of versions they have to do of this game, like as much as they can, aren't they? You know, they took out the older console version. Now they they take out high performance mode. It suggests to me that they're finding it difficult.
Yes, I think that's the key. I think that could be a fair old suggestion. And they're just trying to limit things that, everyone's learnt from Cyberpunk. Yeah,
they don't want Eddie logging in and finding it fairy.
Well, I imagine they just don't want a clusterfuck. Like maybe they go. I don't know how good this game is. Now let's just say it might be questionable. They don't want other things impacting that. I suppose they just want to limit it.
Do you want bad news before release or after? Is I suppose another thing.
Yeah,
they confirmed this, but it was only because it was leaked because somebody got the game early.
Yeah. Of course.
Somebody got the game early who wasn't under NDA, just had a version of the game, and then said it's 30 frames a second. And said, unless there's a day one patch to add a performance mode, it's 30 frames a second. Yeah. And so they had to respond.
Yeah, of course. But it's also, I suppose, you're controlling when that gets out a bit more. You know what I mean? If you didn't say anything, just deny, and then it comes out and it is true. Surely you'd rather handle it early.
You've got to nip it. Yeah. Do you think normal gamers would care? Do you guys care?
I notice if it's anything under 60. Mm-hmm. Honestly, anything. In fact, a lot of PC games, which I know are high graphic, I normally quickly go and lock it at 60 because I don't care if it's any higher. But I physically Tarkov. On my old PC, do you remember when I tried to play it on my laptop many moons ago? And I locked it at 30 and I was like, it works, but it's not enjoyable to play because it's
Eddie Warzone at 144, that's what I used to play it at.
Right, yeah.
And that was so good. Looks buttery smooth.
Buttery?
How does the screen look? Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's just leave that well alone. Let's just leave that well alone.
Pete, what about you? What's your opinion?
I think if I was hyped for this game, it would annoy the crap out of me. If this was one of your releases of the year, it would annoy me a lot to know that it's gated at that.
However, a good game is still a good game.
True.
So.
And you're saying this game will not be good, so...
I don't know. I don't know. I really want it to be good. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, again, big game season, and that would just add to the list.
It would. It would. And be the slowest one of them.
Yes. Okay. Right. The third news story then. Big uproar this week as well. So the original Bayonetta actress has... asked fans to boycott Bayonetta 3. So Helena Taylor, the original voice actress behind Bayonetta, has requested fans boycott the third game following an insulting salary offer. So the offer was $4,000 to voice the third game, which comes out 28th of this month. She released 4 videos on Twitter. She talked about how the offer was insulting. She talked about her training, about the experience. She's been succeeded in her role by Jennifer Hale. I don't. Yeah. You guys will know her, even if you don't know her name, because she's voiced Female Shepard in the Mass Effect games, and Samus in the Metro trilogy, Rivet in Ratchet and Clank. Like, she's a well-known video games voice actress. And in the videos, Helena Taylor said, "I didn't want the world. I didn't ask for too much. I was asking for a decent, dignified living wage. What they did was legal, but it was immoral. I'm asking the fans to boycott this game and instead spend the money that you would have spent on this game donating it to charity." She also said they now have a new girl voicing Bayonetta. "And I love actors. I wish her all the joy in the world. I wish her all the jobs, but she has no right to say she's the voice of Bayonetta." That's debatable. "I created that voice. She has no right to sign merchandise as Bayonetta." That's a bit harsh. So Hale, Jennifer Hale, is unable to respond because she's under NDA. Now, Helena Taylor actually broke NDA in talking about this, but she said quite passionately how she hasn't got much money and she's not worried about being sued because she hasn't fucking got anything. So that was kind of like a passionate part to it, really. So Hideki Kamiya is the games director, and they responded with a tweet kind of alluding to the fact that not all was as it seems, and that she was lying, kind of alluded to that. Regardless, he then went on a fucking Twitter meltdown, blocking every man and his dog. His account got like fucking cancelled, and then he came back to life and then tweeted resurrected and all this kind of, like, it was
what?
I mean, it was a show.
I know.
Yeah. it was weird. I mean, he seems to be quite notorious for like blocking people and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, like, he's not come across particularly well, so he should probably just pump the brakes a little bit. But anyway, so the general response has been to vehemently back Helena Taylor, which, as the offer does seem low, and it does seem like she's been slighted with that offer. But I just want to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit and say a couple of things that we don't know. We don't know how many lines she has in this. We don't know how long it would have taken. We don't even know that she's the main protagonist, because there's another, I think there's 3 like witches in the game, and I think there's another new Viola is in it, so you don't even know whether that might be taking over, and we don't know the going rates. I've seen comments when it's talked about how much she's been paid and said, "Oh, that's not even a month's salary." Yeah, but it could be fucking days work. So, I don't know, people get fucking outraged. She's actually a union worker, and the amount that she would be paid would presumably have been in line with the union rates. Now, Jennifer Hale is not, so there's a difference there.
Well, this is the other thing that interests me, is it may be that it's the lowest possible union rate. You know what I mean? They may have, absolutely. That's why she might be saying it's perfectly legal, it's just immoral.
Yes.
Because the bit for me that strikes me is that Jennifer Hale is not cheap.
You don't know that.
She is not going to be cheap, surely.
You don't know that.
Well, of course we don't, but
I'm looking at her fucking catalogue. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you would
Baldur's
think
Gate, Mass Effect, Metal Gear, Bioshock, Metroid Prime, Overwatch, Star Wars. Fuck me. But hang on. She was recognised by Guinness World of Records as the most prolific video game voice actress.
Yeah, if anyone's got a position to demand top dime, you would think it's her for this.
Yes, but it probably doesn't command top dime.
Well, but what my point is, Ben, is the tweets that came back from the lead as well. It suggests to me that they lowballed her to get rid of her and replace her with Hale.
Because she, good point, because she did have to audition for the role again. Said. Yeah. And maybe
she
they
didn't audition for it.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want her. Or maybe she reacted badly to the offer. Maybe we know nothing about her, but I'm just again devil's advocate. Maybe she wasn't good to work with. Who knows?
This is what I'm saying. Maybe it is that they had so many issues with her on a previous one. They just wanted rid.
Just listening to all this, she sounds like she could be a bit of a nightmare to work with. I mean, I'm just taking a punt.
No, we don't know. Like,
I'm saying that. Don't worry, Ben. You don't need to caveat that with grumpy gamers don't approve.
That's not
message.
The opinion of.
There we go. I'm saying that she doesn't sound like a fun person to work with. There you go.
1/3 of the grumpy gamers.
That is the opinion of grumpy gamers.
No, not 1/3. No, okay. I mean, the common thought is that they would be paying Jennifer Hale more, and people just automatically said maybe she wanted to do the role. I don't know, like who knows? But the important fact here, I think, is that whether they didn't want her to work in the role or whatever, people are paid in accordance to their marginal product, and what that means is like what they bring, their contribution, and all that kind of stuff, what it's worth. This is maybe an unpopular opinion. And that's probably why you might listen to this podcast, i.e. what Eddie's just said. But they obviously didn't think that having her involved would make a fucking difference. And you know what? It's probably going to be true.
Well,
it's probably true.
Sticking up for the working woman here, Ben.
This is not opinion either way, because it looks like a lowball to me. Like it sounds like nothing, doesn't it?
It made me really sad, Ben. It made me really sad. Is that how much they're paid? Like, if that is, then
this is another. Oh, sorry, Pete, you go.
I was just going to say, in my industry, we work with voice actors, and I mean, like, quite low level ones, obviously, because of what we're doing, as well as mid range, and they're like $400 an hour, roughly. And out of that, you might get 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
$400 an hour,
roughly. Yeah.
Jesus, man, you're getting mugged. That's crazy.
That's for the mid range, like. We've had much cheaper ones, but again, that's to get you 5 or 10 minutes of content.
Fair enough. Like, I obviously I don't know anything about the going rates. All I know is that if a contractor in any industry, let's just say something was a day's work and they got offered $4,000, that'd be an incredible day rate. But I don't know whether somebody should be paid in accordance to the profit that's going to be generated from the game. But they obviously don't think that this has a massive impact on the profit. So. Like, I don't. It's a shame. But they don't think that, obviously, or they think somebody else. As well,
Jennifer Hale is a fantastic actress. Do you really think that the loss of the previous one is going to be a downgrade? Like,
maybe that was even a deciding factor in offering such a shite salary. Maybe that was. Like,
it could be, and all this highlights is that we don't know enough to have a now. What I get is when you have something like Twitter, you get a lot of fake outrage, or you get outrage, a straw man outrage, where they're just angry at a thing, and we don't know what's true and what's not true. It's hard to back aside. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, a lot of YouTubers or whatever have been going for the clout, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm boycotting Bayonetta 3." Okay, that's weird, because now if it came out, and if there were another side, I'm not saying there is a better side, but if there were another side where there was a rationale and a reason and that all came out, would you suddenly not boycott Bayonetta 3?
Ben, I'm boycotting Bayonetta 3 now. And I am going to donate the money I'd have spent on it to charity.
I'm not going to do that second bit. I'm going to do the first bit, but...
There's the money we would have spent on it, Eddie.
You both will,
I can tell you how much that would be.
And I might also boycott Bayonetta 3. I don't know. So they might get all three of us.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything, like, nothing against the story, whatever, and what's happened or the videos, but it's just classic Twitter. Like, this is just like, it just.
I would imagine
up.
90% of those getting infuriated wouldn't have bought it anyway. That tells you everything about Twitter, doesn't it?
I think that could be fair. Yeah, that could be a fair old point.
They'll be donating the same amount me and Eddie will to charity.
The person who's come off really bad is the games director. He just doesn't seem like a good guy.
That meltdown was incredible.
Just doesn't seem like a good person, though. That just seems awful.
He blocked himself by the algorithm by blocking so many people.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal way to go. Anyway.
Hey, resurrected, so it's all good.
Yeah. For now. But cool. Let's move on to some good news and let's talk new releases, shall we?
Yeah, cool. And it is good news because it was a busy one, and it's a good one as well. Starting off with a bigger. That was meant to be banger, but it's a big banger.
Starting off with a bigger, baby.
Starting up with a bigger banger. It's a Plague Tale Requiem. PC, Xboxes, PlayStation, Switch. Is it only Xbox Series X and PS5? It can't be only Xbox Series X, right?
I believe. Oh, X and S, both.
X and S, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
cool.
Not prior gen.
Not old gen, as they call them now. October 18th, embark on a heart-rending journey, had to scroll down, into a brutal, breathtaking world and discover the cost of saving those you love in a desperate struggle for survival. Strive from the shadows or unleash hell from a variety of weapons, tools, and unearthly powers. For those who don't
I've
know...
never heard that word.
What?
Heart-rending. Nothing wrong with what you were reading, Eddie. It's literally written heart. Is that a word, Pete?
Yes, that's
Heart-rending. I'd never heard that.
Heart-rending.
Heart-rendering.
Heart-rending.
Heart-rending. What does heart-rending mean?
Rending your heart.
Rending the heart.
It's like, well, so is that like a strain or?
It's damage.
Yeah.
It's like
A
a
rend.
wound, an injury.
So if you rend
Broken
your
hearted
arm,
then.
if you rend your arm, is that broken arm?
No. This is like, what was the
I'm
word
not sure
last
if
week?
it's specific to any injury. Like,
Is it specific to the heart?
Fuck. What
Only
was
a
that
heart can
word
be
last
rended.
week? That I just could not.
Malevolent.
Oh, malevolent. Wow, was that it?
Yeah, it was actually. You did
Malevolent. Holy fuck, I've done it.
that. You've got
All
it.
it took was
Cracked
4
buddy.
hours yesterday for me saying it repeatedly.
Rend is like tear. But anyway, rend is like
so-
tear.
Right. This game looks beautiful. Ben, do you want to talk? Because you played the previous one. You quite enjoyed it, didn't you? Well, you
I
really
did. I thought it was excellent. This is on Game Pass as well, everyone.
It's a
Game,
game, yeah.
Game Pass, it's obviously out on the 18th, so on Tuesday. But I am actually seeing on Twitter people playing it now, so I assume they're in New Zealand or something. It looks brilliant. And just before we start recording, like minutes before, the first reviews had just come in, and it's sitting around an 83. I saw.
Okay.
So gonna be good. I recommend that all three of us play it into next week. It looks really good.
That's a Game Pass game. However, you made me play a game this week, and
Hey, we'll go into that. We'll go into that.
We'll come back to that.
pretty
yeah,
pissed off. Whenever I listen to you guys about something I have to play, I'm always end up pissed off. So
Yeah, but it's for the podcast. I'm not saying you have to play it because it's good. I'm just saying.
Next one, Amberial Dreams, coming out on PC October 18th. The hit series returns. Roll, bounce, and discover eerie worlds in this precision platformer for all skill levels. Play through an enchanting campaign. Try to best the insane difficulty or create your own levels to share with the world. This is a 2D atmospheric precision platformer. What is I've never heard that before. A precision platformer.
Difficult.
It's fucking difficult.
Difficult. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Precision platformer is basically difficult platformer. Yeah.
Right, nice. You control a ball, and you need to kind of bounce your way to the end of the level, passing obstacles and stuff. It looks okay. I like the create your own map feature. I thought that was quite cool. What do you guys think?
No, I mean, it looks okay is probably the best summary I could give it myself.
It's
I was
the
also
return of a hit
confused.
series.
This was the bit that confused me,
yeah.
actually, because I was like, what series is it part of?
The hit series.
There's a hit series.
I'm
Peter's
sure it
currently
is a hit
copying and
series.
pasting the...
Yes, because I'm trying to remember whether I found the series or not, because I don't think I did.
Come on, Pete. It's a fucking hit series, boy.
Hit series,
It must
Pete.
be pretty good.
Oh,
Must
Ben,
be pretty good.
tell me the one before then. I'll look it up by that.
Well, Amberial Nightmares.
Nice! Very good, Ben. That's a weird step
Obviously.
they took in the series, though, Ben. You got to
Yeah.
say, why would they go from nightmares to
It's the dreams, yeah.
This
No,
is it, the
I don't
reason-
make the rules, Eddie. I don't make the rules.
But this
Maybe
was what
haze?
confused me.
I don't know. Something.
Because the developer on Steam only has one release, and it's this. So
yeah,
you're like,
I looked that up.
where was
yeah.
the rest of your series? Like,
Yeah.
It's
It's great, though.
Yeah, it's a hit series.
It's a hit series.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like all the old platformers, doesn't it? Like,
It looks like the old games in the series.
Looks like the old games in the series, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Cool, nailed it.
Right, moving on. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed coming out on PCs, PlayStation X, PlayStation X and X. Well done, Eddie. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 4, oh fuck's sake, and Xbox old ones. October 18th, Hunting or Haunting. The choice is yours in the upcoming Oh, fucking hell. Asymmetrical. Asymmetrical Ghostbusters game. Oh, God. Why did I fuck that up? I think it was because I was trying to say the word slowly. Ghostbusters game from Ilphonic?
Yeah, go for it.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's three...
That was my guess, yeah.
Three L's, right?
I assume it's a capital I and then LL.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Maybe it's threephonic.
Ilphonic Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed. Yeah. Play with up to 4 friends or solo on multiple platforms. It's a first-person game. You can catch ghosts before the meter reaches 100 in each like level and map. You've got like your home place. I think it's like a safe house where you can take on missions. You can upgrade your equipment. I think this looks really bad. What do you guys think?
One, I love the fact that you messed up asymmetrical for the same reason I said PUBG last week.
PUBG.
I know that was so bad.
That was so bad, Pete.
But desperately trying to spell it out to yourself, and it just doesn't work out well for you.
Yeah.
Especially when it's got a really well-renowned
I think it was Scott,
acronym already.
I think it was Scott on Twitter that commented.
Yeah, love that.
I'm glad
honestly,
it was noticed.
The rule with everything that I've noticed, if you just say something quickly, it always works out. So just do it quickly every time. Yeah, unless you're spelling out PUBG. I mean,
that was desperately trying to remember which word came next. It was like, come on.
Players P unknown.
Yeah, exactly. It literally was that. You could see the speed my brain was working at that point, and it wasn't great. Anyway, with this game, the only thing I can say that looks quite good to me so far is the lighting. The lighting looks crisp, man.
I think it looks right. I've seen a few reviews of it this week. I think it looks okay, but I think you pretty much have to have friends to play with. So what I've heard is that you have to stick like glue to each other, like to defeat the ghost. So because it's an asymmetric game, like the ghost will be like effectively like 4 times stronger than the people, you know. So you have to really work with a lot of teamwork. So you have to play friends, and there's no real single player. It's just that you can take missions or whatever, or go through the story on the multiplayer. And I don't think the upgrades really impact the gameplay that much, as far as I'm aware. So I think in concept it's cool, but I think content is limited from what I hear.
Okay,
that's a shame. Yeah. Next one, The Last Hero Nostalgia, PC, Xbox Series is October 19th. The Last Hero of Nostalgia is a satirical action adventure brought to life by a twisted and wicked tale, featuring hard but fair combat, full character customization, I don't know whether there's an asterisk there, unique battle armor, and engaging narrative mechanics rich in lore. Nostalgia plunges you into the almost certain death at every turn. Yes, this features a hard but fair Souls-like exploration and combat, combined with a twisted, wicked tale told by a cynical narrator. Can play in co-op. You can change your weapons and armor. Guys, are you going to help me out?
Are we going to brush over plurges and narrator?
And also nostalgia when it's not nostalgia. Although I can see where it tripped him up.
Yeah.
Oh, nostalgia. Nostalgia. Would you?
Yes.
Surely wouldn't you go nostalgia?
No, it's
that would, Eddie. To be fair, that word would have destroyed me as well. So
yeah, I thought
it was nostalgia.
Yeah, I can understand it because it's so close to spelling, and it's clearly channeling that thought. But the bit that made me chuckle most was the asterisk is there because the guy's a stickman, Eddie. You can, it's full character customization of a stickman, and it even gives you like options for nose width and eye style, even though it's a straight line for his head.
Yes, jaw width, yeah, endowment, yeah, I like that.
I love that.
I think this looks quite cool. I mean, it is a Souls-like, and it's crisp as hell, isn't it? Like it looks. Mm-hmm. I think it could be a bit of a sleeper. If you're a Souls-like fan, then this is pretty cool.
Definitely. I think depending on price, this could be great. And there is a demo on Steam already. So you can jump into this, yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Jump in and have a play.
Looks really good.
Have a play, okay. All right, nice one. Next one, The Last Worker, coming out on PC, October 19th. The Last Worker is a first-person narrative adventure centered around our struggle in an increasingly automated world. Is It's taken off Steam, which I found was very interesting. I'm just going to put not for me. Have you guys looked at this?
I looked at it. Is it removed from Steam? Do you say?
I've gone on Steam app, and I've also gone on online, and I've tried to go onto the Steam page, and it's just taken me to the Steam homepage.
I thought if you scroll down on that, I'm pretty sure I looked at it on the Steam page. But I have seen it. Again, it looks graphically nice, but it still wasn't doing anything for me.
Yeah, I can explain that though, guys, as well, because it's not been pulled from Steam; it's been delayed to 2023.
Oh, that's a long delay.
As of today.
That's a strong delay. Okay. Wow, 2 days before. Okay.
Yeah,
so 2 days before the game comes out,
ridiculous.
They go 2023.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so, I mean, to be honest, I'm not too bothered by that either. It's got an interesting art style, as so many of these do. But, I mean...
Guys, we've got a big section here. Let's not suppose it's 2023.
Yeah, it's in 2023. We can move on.
There you go. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, PC, October 19th. It's this, so it's repackaged all together. So...
Yeah, fuck it. If you like Uncharted, then fill your boots. I don't, so let's move on.
Yeah, no one else cares. Crack on. Yeah.
I think this is my girlfriend's favourite game of all time. So
Yeah. I thought Uncharted 4 was terrible.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Awful game. Right. Everyone loves it though, so fine. It just says the difference in taste.
You must be wrong.
I must be wrong. I must be wrong.
You usually are. Next one, The Valiant, coming out on PC, October 19th. Embark on a journey of brotherhood and redemption in The Valiant, a squad-based RTS set in 13th century Europe and the Middle East. Oh, that was a bit of an add-on. Command and level up your medieval knights as you fight through an epic SP campaign. Oh my god, they didn't even write out a single player. And then take your skills online in both cooperative and competitive MP modes. Fucking MP as well.
Hey, they've got to fit their word count, and they went for a long one anyway, didn't they?
Right.
So, you know,
and competitive Minister of
fucking game though.
Mode.
This looks alright, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's 15 single-player missions, each with custom cinematics, narrated, or what did I say earlier? Narrated. Journals, difficulty levels, and more. There's 5+ hero squads, each with 3 different skill trees. There's a large array of weapons and armour. I think this looks really, really good, actually.
Yes, I do
Agreed.
as well. And I think the inclusion of the Middle East means you're going on the Crusades, which would be awesome fun.
Not my type of game, but I think you two could like this when it's down in price, whatever. It seems to be bang up your street.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like all the visuals look really good as well. It just looks, I don't know, it just looks really, really nicely polished and well done.
Looks really good, yeah.
Massively so. And I think some of the narratives got that kind of almost hand-drawn style to it as well.
Yeah.
Which I quite like as a break from the sort of Baldur's Gate view on it. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a really good one.
Yeah, you popping this on the old wish list?
Already on the
already
wish
on there.
list. Yeah.
Nice one.
Already on, buddy.
Nice.
Okay, next one. Batora, Lost Haven. PC, PlayStation's, Xbox's, October 20th. Embark on an epic adventure to save Earth in this interplanetary action RPG. Almost fucked that one up. Harness the ancient powers of sun and moon to take on a variety of unique enemies while solving diverse puzzles and exploring stunning sci-fi worlds, each with its own curious stories. Inhabitants and mysteries. Retro sci-fi art style. Apparently it has. Have you seen the art style?
I have, yeah.
Do you think it's as horrendous as me, or are you going to be a bit more positive?
No, I don't think it's bad, actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I like it.
Right.
I saw it as like off-brand Arcane attempted.
Absolutely.
That's what I think they were going for.
That's a nice, yeah. It definitely has that to it. But I thought it was crisp. It was...
Okay. Yeah, crisp. I'll give you crisp. That's the one benefit I'll say of this. It has multi-layered combat, apparently, and the puzzles are fun. This isn't my kind of game.
Found this week that puzzles are a lot of fun. Spoilers. Anyway, yes. Yeah.
Why
I don't
do
think it's my
games
type
do
of
that?
game.
I think I've had this rant on this podcast to Ben probably a few months ago. Why do games always do that? Ben, I think you said it's because it's the whole nostalgia thing and old games used to have puzzles. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know.
I feel we'll come back to this shortly.
We fucking definitely will. Fucking Scorn. Hell is Others, coming out on PC October 20th. Hell is Others is a survival horror PvPvE top-down shooter. Outside the safety of your apartment lies the noir hellscape that is Century City. That's a really bad name for a city. A city of endless night that straddles the line between reality and insanity. Don't like use of straddles there. Explore, hunt, and loot in a place where blood is literally currency. This is a 2D kind of twin-stick shooter. You can grow your own ammo at your home base, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of build and upgrade your safe house. So obviously I did not like the look of this game at all until I saw that, and now I'm all in.
It's top down, isn't it? It's top down, and it's kind of like retro graphical style.
Yeah.
I thought it looked like it could be quite good.
I think I'm quite happy about this, but I think I'm biased because the last two games I've played have both been top down games like this.
True.
Yeah, like door, whatever.
Yeah, Door Kickers. I played Door Kickers 2 at the festival that you mentioned. I've also been playing a game called Zero fucking Seven or something like that, which is pretty similar as well. So yeah, I'm not mad at this game.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would not touch it, but fair play.
Oh, okay. Really? Do you not like I thought you'd really like the noir look of it all, Pete.
I don't know. Just the more. Maybe it's just the way they've done the wording on the Steam page, but it just something put me off.
It doesn't take a lot to say.
No, I'm notoriously picky, to be fair.
They use the word straddle, so I'm out. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. It just something about it just made me go, not for me. Not for me.
All right.
Maybe it's just because there's so many others this week.
Yes, it's a good week. Next one, unfortunately, the horrendous ones after this one. We'll touch on a nice game now, and that is New Tales from the Borderlands, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, October 21st. Decide the fates of altruistic.
You skipped like 5 games.
You've jumped like 3 or 4 on.
Oh, have I? Oh, I know why I have, because I was scrolling down to see what the name of that fucking zero. It's fine.
Right.
We'll. I was going to say we'll soldier on, but we won't, because then it's not in order, is it? There you go.
Exactly.
You can't. You finish the one you're doing. Finish the one you're doing.
Yeah. New Tales from the Borderlands. It's coming out and everything. Decide the fates of altruistic scientist Anu. Is it Anu? Anu?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Anu? No, because that's
Anu was definitely better.
Anu's definitely, because you're edging very close to anus then, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you didn't have to say it. But yeah.
Her ambitious streetwise brother, Octavio, wasn't that a famous Roman? And the fierce Frogut slinging Fran? Yes. Frogut? Is that like a yogurt?
Frozen yogurt.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Claw and con your way through 5 thrilling chapters. It's a Tales game in Borderlands world, but it does look nice. You guys said that, I think, didn't you?
That blurb was fucking hard work, wasn't it? It does look really nice, actually. If you like Borderlands and you like Tales games, then fill your fucking boots. It looks great.
Yes, massively so. And yeah, I mean, that was one of the best blurbs of all time. Do you mean Octavius, the famous Roman, by any chance? Yeah.
Oh, come on, that wasn't
Streetwise brother Octavio.
I think he was thinking of Octavian. Yeah.
Most likely.
Oh, Octavian. Wasn't he one of the Caesars? Yeah.
Augustus.
Yeah. Pete, we're not all done fucking... I mean, surely that's not too bad to know that, right?
It was just the comparison with the ambitious streetwise younger brother that got me.
And Eddie, you also had a classical education. You should know this stuff.
That's true, yeah. And
I was off by one word. What's up with you?
Let's also not talk about the first name we mentioned there that went horribly wrong.
Hey, Anus is a good name. Right, next one. Going back in time, back to Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, coming out on Switch October 20th. Lead a team of your favourite Mario and Rabbids characters to bring back order to the universe and save the sparks. Embark in this epic journey through mysterious, strange and ever-surprising planets filled with fascinating inhabitants and compelling quests. Ben, you're the only one that's going to be interested in this. Do you want to tell us?
Yeah, I liked the first one. I think every Switch owner owns it because it's one of those games that actually went on sale. So I have it physically,
huge.
digitally. I've got it everywhere. I think I probably even double dipped on it. So, but whatever. Good game. It's like XCOM style combat. This one looks good as well. A lot of hype around it. It's probably the Switch's. It is this. Wow, actually, Switch is having big releases this month. A couple of big releases and next month. So, yes, it sparks another a period of good Switch releases. So, I am on the cusp of buying it, but there are a lot of good games coming out. So, I don't know, but I am on the cusp, and at some point, I'm sure I will play this game.
Probably October 20th or so. Yeah.
Probably October 20th will come round, so 3 days time, and it will probably be then.
Yeah. Well, it is the time. Yeah, fair.
Expect a review next week.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to the Pegasus Expedition, coming out on PC October 20th. For those of you who don't know, Pegasus was a famous cow in ancient Greek times. The Pegasus Expedition is a story-driven sci-fi grand strategy game set in a key moment for humankind's survival, facing an overwhelming threat at home. I can hear your murmurs. Just know that I did it just to piss Pete off, right?
I liked it. It
worked.
Humanity sends expeditions to the Pegasus Galaxy in a desperate attempt to find a refugee for the population of Earth. Refuge, maybe.
There
not
we
refugee.
go. You've done so well up to that point.
Yes, because I was scrolling down. Pete, am I right in saying you've played this game?
I've played the demo. So, yes, I have played some of it. And we will come back to that, to be fair. Let's come back to that in what we've been playing.
Okay, cool.
But yes, I will say, I mean, it's obviously one for me, isn't it? A story-driven grand sci-fi strategy game. Like, that's kind of obviously one I was going to look at.
It's your MO.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much spot on for me, isn't it? It's the UI is really good. It's very pretty, and actual gameplay we'll come back to. Yeah. But actual gameplay, let's come back to when we get to what we've been playing.
Oh, cool. Right, cool. Brilliant. And it's not about an ancient Greek cow.
No, there's no links to any kind of ancient farm animals.
Not this time.
No.
Especially ones that go underground. Yeah.
Right. Good. Right, moving on to Gotham Knights. PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, October 21st. 30 frames per second on the consoles. I'll have you know. Pre-order now and get... Why have you copied this? Pre-order now and get the 233 custom Bat Cycle skin. Pete, you notice how I said 233? Like PUBG? Dickhead.
Yes, I loved it.
Batman is dead. It is now up to the Batman family. Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. Sorry, is his name actually Red Hood? That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're picking out the lineup and you're saying, "Oh, which one is it? Oh, Red Hood."
I bet he's got a Red Hood. I mean, I haven't
perfectly
looked.
Descriptive.
I haven't looked.
She got away from the big bad wolf and joined Batman. What do you want?
Very good. Very good. That was an old fable about a vicious cat, wasn't it? Yes, this is an open world action RPG. A lot of people will like this. What do you guys think? You said you weren't too excited in the...
Yeah,
I hope
a
it's
lot
really
of people
good.
will like this. It's not going to be me.
I hope it's really good. Like if it reviews really well, then again, gonna have to buy it. But yeah, I hope it's good. Really hope it's good.
The main thing with this,
don't think it will be, but
yeah, the main thing with this was I left in that first line. One, because I really wanted you to read it without thinking, and two, if your blurb is meant to start with "Batman is dead," kicking it off with a pre-order invite is kind of ruining what you've gone for, isn't it?
Yeah, the person who wrote that blurb is like, oh, for fuck's
Yeah, I
sake.
know. I've just done that. So, like, huge impact. And, that poor guy.
I know.
I'm looking through the pictures and screenshots. I don't see a man with a red hood. I'm really quite upset by this. There's a man with a red head.
I think that's
He looks like Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'm not a big DC fan, so I just assumed he would have a red hood. That's pretty disappointing if he doesn't.
No, he
I
doesn't.
mean, it's just a very close to the face hood.
Yeah, it was a mask. It's a mask.
Yeah.
It's a mask.
Red mask.
It's dead.
Furious. Boycott.
Boycott. That and Bayonetta, right? Because she is apparently a nightmare to work with. Opinion of Grumpy Gamers. Right, next one. We've done New Tales, so we're not doing that one again. We are doing Persona 5 Royale, coming to consoles and Switch and PC. October 21st. I've put nobody gives a shit.
Brilliant.
Also, is it Royale or Royal? I'm never sure.
I think it's Royal.
Yeah, but you've got to say Royale when it's by itself. You've got to say Royale.
I've seen it with an E as well.
I'm sure I have as well, even so for Royal. So it's Royale, isn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No one cares anyway. Yeah.
It's the updated version of Persona 5 with the extra couple of characters and palaces that you have to do and stuff. So the one thing that I have on this, so this is the release on everything, every other console, because it was previously on PlayStation, and it's coming to Game Pass as well. But it's just, this is, everyone's talking about it, and it's like, this is, so it's going to be a big thing, but I think if you're massively into Persona, you probably already have a PlayStation to be into Persona. So I don't know whether this is going to have the big market hit that people are kind of anticipating. Because Persona's really popular, all that kind of stuff. But I just don't. If you're not into it already, I don't know. I just don't know whether it's going to have the big success that people are kind of anticipating, because it is a slow game. And it is a fucking long game. I've played 164 hours of Persona 5 in total. I checked that the other day.
One playthrough?
No, I've played 2 playthroughs. But
wow, okay.
So yeah, I've spent a lot of time in this game. So yeah, I don't want to play it again. So I don't know who it's appealing to. So yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. They should have just re-released it alongside a TV show, and then they could have charged the full price again.
There is a TV show, Pete.
Oh,
there's an anime. I've seen the anime. Yeah. And there's a Persona 4 anime as well. Probably other Personas as well. They're really good.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I believe it's one of the worst rated games on Metacritic.
Oh, don't be... Just... You guys, just move on.
Okay.
Can't trust a fucking word.
The big one, Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, coming out on consoles and full release on PC October 25th. The horns sound, the ravens gather, an empire is torn by civil war. Beyond its borders, new kingdoms rise. Gird your sword, don your armour, summon your followers, and ride forth to win glory on the battlefields of Calradia. Establish your hegemony and create a new world out of the ashes of the old.
Chills.
I like that.
Little chills. Love it.
Very good, yeah. Because it's a game you care about, you put
that's it.
real nice
effort.
effort.
That's it.
Went for it.
As soon as I care about a game, not
Very
fucking
good,
Persona 5. That was a piece of shit game.
You didn't even read the blurb of Persona 5.
No, I blocked out. Yeah, didn't want to do that nonsense. So, for those of you who don't know, this is a medieval RPG. I'm 220 hours deep, and it hasn't even come out yet, so that's pretty good. People aren't excited about this coming out in full release, which is quite funny. But I am, because it means now this is a really heavily modded game. Same with the last one. So you're going to have some really, really good mods. I know there's already some amazing mods out there already, but Pete will know when you download a mod and then they update the game and then so many things break and it becomes unplayable. So I've been waiting for this for a while. Really happy. Love it.
It's huge, isn't it? And I think that's it. The actual final release of a game means that the mods are going to be more stable. Yes. And that's huge in things like this.
Yeah. It means the workshop page will be open as well, I assume, on old Steam, which is a big thing for me. Because, like going... I've done... Was it Nexus mods? I've done Nexus mods with a few games, but I don't like... I don't like it the same reason why Ben doesn't like PC games. There's a lot of fiddling. There's a lot of doing things that I don't feel comfortable doing. But with Steam Workshop, it's just so easy. So, really, really excited for this.
I hope it comes to Game Pass at some point. Like I know the first one did. I hope it comes to Game Pass because that would be wicked.
I mean,
It'll be a while, I think.
It'll be a while. Yeah,
it'll be a while. Yeah, it'll be a hot minute, but yeah.
But to give people an idea, like there's a full World of Ice and Fire conversion for Mount and Blade 1.
Yes.
So Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of mod you can now start to expect to actually work.
I think they've already started one. In the old one, they had everything. They had Star Wars, they had Napoleon, they had a really good Warhammer one, Pete. And they modded it so well that they even had like ogres and huge things and cannons and all this sort of shit. So,
but it is so rough to play now.
The old one. Yeah.
Oh, Mount and Blade is so rough.
Still glorious though for nostalgia purposes.
For nostalgia. Very good. All right, last one. Victoria 3 coming out on PC October 25th. Paradox Development Studio invites you to build your ideal society in the tumult of the exciting and transformative 19th century. Balance the competing interests in your society and earn your place in the sun in Victoria 3, one of the most anticipated games in Paradox's history. That's a weird comment because I normally know that Paradox games are coming up, and fine. It's a Paradox game, so Pete, I'm obviously going to come straight to you.
I thought you might. This is actually one that a lot of people are very hyped for, but it's the most anticipated game, Pete. So
Oh,
I know, but it's sort of the specific niche of Paradox gamers who love Vicky 3 or Vicky 2 previously, and Hearts of Iron.
God, on nickname terms already.
Yeah, sorry, you're a little
Jesus.
Vicky.
That's how they refer to it as well.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, even before release. So those two tend to go hand in hand, Hearts of Iron and Victoria. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. And I mean, obviously it is like Napoleonic period, really sort of a good one to get into with some really interesting things you can do. It's not my preferred time period, so it's not one I tend to go to. I'm, as we all know, Stellaris Crusader Kings. And occasionally Imperator Rome. But it's a Paradox game. It will be absolutely fantastic. If it's your kind of setting, you'll love it.
I'm looking at it, and I think I might really be interested in this. I obviously play a lot of Paradox games, and I have been looking for a good strategy game that I can play for a long time, which doesn't involve too much fighting. So this could be one for me.
Why don't you go Crusader Kings 3?
Well, this one and Crusader Kings, and to a degree Hearts of Iron, are not as complicated as things like Stellaris.
So I've played my Hearts of Irons, and I found them to be quite boring once you got to the mechanics. The Crusader Kings 2 I played, and again there were so many mechanics that it took me a long time to learn, and then I got pissed off because I wasn't as happy as I thought I was playing it. So, but
Paradox games are just fucking complicated, though, aren't they?
They are complicated, and I am a man who does
too big brain for me.
I chuck in loads of hours like learning the mechanics, but then I get really pissed off when I've spent like a whole day researching mechanics, and then I turn out that I'm actually quite bored. I go, "You fucking idiot! You just learnt something for no reason," which obviously is ridiculous.
God,
no wonder you loved school so much. Yes, understandable. No, I think this one, it will definitely be a great game. As I recall, it is slightly less complex than Stellaris, for one.
Right.
So you'd probably have an easier way in. But I think you properly have to get into this, much like RimWorld Edit, you have to get into the narrative of your game to really love it. So it's like Crusader Kings always worked for me, because generally I'd have like one good guy and then his son would be an utter bastard to flip it round and keep it interesting for me. But you think you have to find your own reasons to love it in these games as well. You've got to build into it.
Yeah.
But it's a huge week, guys. I mean, like, very rare we have quite this many that are like big name games, you know?
Yeah, there is actually something for everyone.
Exactly. And we've got to ask, Eddie, what's your game of the week?
I'm going to be really boring. I was thinking The Valiant. That looks really good. But I'm going to be really boring, and I'm going to say Mount and Blade 2, only because, or Bannerlord, I should say, only because I think it's a fucking world-class game from world-class developers, and I want to encourage anyone to play it. I bet it's expensive, though, eh?
I would think it would be.
Yeah,
but on Steam it was only it's full release price now. I bet they've must pump the price up because it was
£40 at the moment.
Yeah, because it's £25 when it was in early access, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh, good.
Right. So yeah,
I don't remember it being £25.
pretty sure it was when I looked, because I looked into buying it.
I think I paid fucking big. I think I paid like 40 quid for it.
Oh, maybe I was wrong there. Maybe I was wrong.
I don't think I've seen it below 40, or I'd have bitten.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was 25, but never mind.
Fair enough.
There is actually something. There is actually something on Steam, isn't there? I've found this before, where it actually gives you like a history of the prices.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that is actually a thing. Yeah.
Well, Ben can do that while I tell you a little bit more about the Pegasus expedition.
I'm not going to do that. So
famous cow.
Yes, the famous underground cow. So yeah, I obviously I saw this while looking at new releases and just decided I was going to jump in. And I'm not going to avoid spoilers in this because it's a demo. You can play it any time. Like it may not even reflect the main game that heavily. But essentially, you start out fleeing Earth and leading like the Pegasus expedition to go and explore a different galaxy. That's the point. You immediately end up in a war within seconds. And obviously, I'm instantly interested in this. Like, the narrative is quite well delivered. It goes straight to action from the moment you arrive, so you get a sense of what the battle's like straight away. And then it got a bit odd, for me anyway, because you've claimed one system, you've got all your fleets together, it cuts to a narrative segment where they're like, we need to press the attack, and I'm like, yeah, my force is consolidated. That sounds great. I'll go ahead with that. And instead, it auto launches 3 separate attacks and splits my fleet for me before I can do anything. And I'm just watching this happen. Like, what the fuck? Why would anyone do that? Like, why do I not get any power in a strategy game? Why is that a thing?
Is it just because the demo, or
I'm not sure. It didn't do the same thing when I played back the same bit a bit later. This was it. So I was just like, is it slightly RNG based? God knows. But it did mean that you lost about a third of your force before you'd even really got a chance to start, which was a bit frustrating. The best way I could describe it to people is it felt a lot like Battlefleet Gothic mixed with Endless Space. That's how I'd say it.
That's nice.
Two good games there.
The only problem with it's the bit of Endless Space that's the worst bit, in that it's the combat.
Oh yeah, that's garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Battlefleet Gothic, the best bit
take that back. It's serviceable. It's serviceable in Endless Space.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just mostly it's based on your tactics, and that's done through card rotation. You know, so that's not really my preference with it.
Okay.
And whereas Battlefleet Gothic sort of does an awful lot of the strategy stuff quite lightly, but the combat is a massive focus. So actually, not having that one's combat is a problem.
Right, it's taking the worst parts of both. Then
sort of, yeah. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it just meant it felt quite shallow.
Fair enough.
So my biggest problem with the blurb actually was the inclusion of Grand in there. I was like, okay, this is a narrative sci-fi strategy game. That's fine. Grand is a bit much.
What makes a grand strategy?
They all say grand. They all bloody
the amount of resources, Ben. It's all about the amount of resources, buddy.
Right.
And literally, I told you this earlier. Come on now. Anyway, if you're not above 15, don't talk to me. Anyway, it's a bit of a hybrid of different things so far. And I'm guessing that is reflected in the main game as well as the demo. But there are a few things they could have done better. And I'm hopeful that in the main game they will have done. There's no voice acting so far, which when you've got sort of council screens making decisions, it would be better if you weren't just reading it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe
God, you had that in the disc version of fucking Civ 2. They could put in a bit of voice acting here, couldn't they?
Oh, fantastic voice acting in that one as well.
Ben, Pokemon doesn't do voice acting.
And it's the best RPG of all time.
Don't bring that up, Eddie. Not now. Come on.
But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to keep playing this one. I've got to a point now where I've conquered like 5 or 6 systems. I'm sort of able to consolidate and have a bit more control over it. But it was a bit strange that you were like railroaded at the very start, but not in the same way. Because I literally started it over again because I was like, we only played 10 minutes, so do it again and see if it does the same thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't. But that was a bit of an odd kickoff. There is a tutorial going on. It's quite light touch. And it doesn't really explain things to you as much as just tell you they're there. You know what I mean? It's like you have this option or this option or this option, but it's not going to tell you what the outcome of that is. So I'm sort of jury's still out on this after the demo. but I'm very intrigued.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it comes out in its full version then, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And depending on price point, I'll be really interested in actually buying it, to be honest, based on the demo. I'd recommend anyone who's interested in the game from what they've heard to go and check the demo out. It's definitely worth playing. I'm just curious as to what... I want to know if it gets deeper. That's the key. I want to know if the mechanics get deeper as you go into the real game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've got pretty much the exact same issue with the game that I've been playing this week, Pete. I've been playing Zero Sievert, the demo. I think we... When's it come... I should have looked this up. When's it come out? That's a good question, Eddie.
It says, when's the release date?
Oh, I've got it in my notes.
22nd of November.
Yeah, 22nd of November, which is, next month. But there's a free demo coming out. It is out on Steam, so you can go download it now. That's what I've been doing. I've probably chucked probably more. How long did I say earlier? Was it 10 hours? I think I've played it. So I've got some idea of it. Basically, this is the game that me and Ben talked about, I think, last week, where it's exactly like Tarkov, but it's top down. Well, not top down. It's 2D kind of visuals, and it's almost like a twin stick shooter. It's so much like Tarkov that even the name of the city is called Zarkov. Which, I mean, a little bit too close for comfort, if you ask me, but hey-ho. So it's so similar, but in a good way. Like, with the medicine and injuries, it's like Tarkov, where you need to stop the bleeding, you need to increase, like, maybe your maximum health, and then you need to increase your health. So you really need to worry about... Instead of other games where you just inject yourself and you instantly get health, it's completely different like that. It's similar to Tarkov with the equipment and the inventory. You only have limited amounts. You really have to choose what to use and what to waste and all that sort of stuff. Same with the weapon and attachments. It has all the bloody different attachments to use that increase weapon usage, and therefore you'd use different weapons for different scenarios. It has this cool thing where if you hold the aim and you've got a scope, it kind of turns into a sniper scope and you can shoot people from far away, which is a really cool little addition. It's the same as Tarkov with the looting as well, even with the same like loading screen when you open a container, which, I love it because it is Tarkov, but it's like 2D. The only issues, the visuals are really bad. It's like kind of 90s style. But I don't mind a game that's purposely gone for that look and they've pulled it off, which I think they have. It's just a bit shame that it looks pretty bad. I don't like at the moment the beauty of Tarkov. The thing that makes it such a good game is the excitement of getting out the map with all your stuff. And you realise you've got really, high-level loot that you could sell for a lot, and therefore you could buy that gun that you really like and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, when you die on map, you don't lose any of your items. You actually go back to the main base with all your items, which seems like a huge... I don't know if that's because it's a demo, so please take that with a pinch of salt. Because that seems a huge oversight on their behalf. Because that's probably the biggest.
That's the whole point. That's the mechanic.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to get. That's the main mechanic that everyone plays Tarkov for. Is the fact of, oh my god, I've got such good loot. I need to get out. Please make sure there's no one around me. And then if you find someone on the way to the extraction point, and you actually kill them, you just feel like an absolute god. So yeah, really disappointed with that. There doesn't seem to be an insurance system, which there is in Tarkov, where you pay and then you get the items back, because obviously you get your items back anyway, so what's the point? They do keep the nice touch that when you do get out of map, you still have all the injuries and stuff that you had in map. If you have radiation damage, you have food and drink and all the usual stuff. So that all carries out over map, which is nice. And the only other problem I have at the moment, obviously, it's a demo, so take this with a pinch of salt. There's only one map. There are more. There are like blacked out versions, so I think there's like 5 maps in total. But another problem with this is the maps are really, really small. If I was to go to one corner and run to the other, it would probably take me 60 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a real shame because let me tell you why this can be a shame. Tarkov I can play forever because each map is very big and I think there's probably like 10 of them. And therefore there's endless amounts of scenarios that can happen. However, like I've played this one map probably like 20 times and it's so small that I just go to the same fucking buildings every single time. So I can see that getting really fucking old really, really quickly. But hey, it's so far it's very close to Tarkov, but obviously in a completely different format. So therefore I'm really, really enjoying it. I think I'll be very interested to look at the patch notes and the full release notes to see if they've sorted out that issue with no losing items. I really hope they do. If they do, I think I'm going to buy this full price.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another benefit to me playing this is I've been holding off buying Kaplurth, that beautiful RimWorld looking game for a while. I did say I was going to get it before Game of the Year because obviously I'm going to nominate it for Game of the Year because it looks exactly like RimWorld. But you know, the reason why I haven't because I haven't really been interested in playing that type of game. But this game with the same key bindings and everything as it, I've gone. Oh, why don't you now get Clipperth? So I bought Clipperth.
Nice.
So I'm probably going to play that. Yeah.
Excellent. I very much look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Oh my god. Great game. Yes.
Good stuff.
Well, with that, I suppose we should come to the main one, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we've all been playing Scorn this week.
Yes.
So Scorn came out on Game Pass, didn't it? Xbox exclusive for the moment. I don't know if it's timed or whether it's permanently Xbox exclusive, but yep, it's a big release to Game Pass. So we all excitedly logged on, got it downloaded, and it's a good one for us to talk about. So there's been a lot of different opinions on this. A lot of dividing opinions, I would say, on this horror game. So just to outline it to start with, it is like a horror game which is quite grotesque and it's a gruesome type world. You play as a character who is kind of Gollum-esque.
He's a homunculus, isn't he? He's a weird little homunculus creature.
Yes. And you're in this very like, how do you describe, like, everything is
from Prometheus.
Yes, but everything is
absolutely.
Everything is alive. Like everything is like flesh and everything. You know, it's just
so it's that H.R. Geiger type thing. It's the biomechanical everything. So you can't tell what's living, what's machine. That's the point, isn't it?
And it is a I think it's categorized as an FPS because it's first person and there are weapons in it later on, and it's that type of thing. But it's more of a puzzle game than anything else. I would say an atmospheric puzzle game. So yeah, it's very Prometheus vibes, Alien vibes, and I think the person who even designed it may have even worked on the Alien stuff or was very inspired, something like that. I think there is a direct link.
Yes.
To
well, again, they're definitely inspired by H.R. Geiger, who inspired Alien.
There we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's definitely links there.
So when I've kind of the discussion that we're going to have. So firstly, the story is pretty much non-existent to you as the player from the outset. Okay, there's no story and there's no objective, I'd say. And also you don't really know anything about your sense of self or character. So you're pretty much just put into the world and you're going. So you start moving and the movement feels a little bit odd. It feels like one of those PC games that is on sale. But you move along and you're in this world and you're looking around or whatever, and it's very atmospheric. It sets its tone that it's all about the world. It's about what you can, the atmosphere, the music, and all that kind of stuff, and the feeling. So, what do you guys think about that to start with?
Are we breaking it down into?
Yeah, we're breaking it down. Okay. Look, we've got to focus on the positives. So what?
You know what's annoying, Ben, is I hate that you've broken it down because now I'm coming into this and I'm praising it because you've had to
guys.
break it down.
Come on, guys, let's look at this atmosphere.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is really good. I think the visuals, I think it looks really nice. I like the fogginess of it all. The fact that it all looks alive made me keep on looking around all the time. It made me keep on edge a bit. So I think the atmosphere is good. Fucking hell, I can't believe I said a positive.
I know. In a sense, yes, so do I. Can I just say, though, that as you're dropped in there, you've got that 30-second or less cutscene. It's just you falling.
Yes.
And then you pick yourself up off the floor. Yeah. And you look around, and immediately you're like, okay, this could be cool. Did neither of you have the moment where you went, oh, literally nothing is interactable?
Yes, I did, and I
that
thought...
was instantaneous.
I can't really interact with anything. It didn't... And I also thought, the atmosphere that they're trying to create... I had no sense of dread, no sense of panic, no sense of fear, because I quickly realised that I didn't think anything was going to hurt me.
Well, agreed. The other bit was I didn't care. One of the first things I tried to do in this game is there's a weird black hole in the floor.
Yeah.
Which you're like, and I went, jump in there. No, you can't.
Yeah. My character can't jump, can't dodge, can't
even
fall
walk
down
into
anywhere.
No. You can't accidentally fall through a hole in the earth and walk.
I can't do anything. I am walking, and then my run is very slow. And I don't care what happens to this character. And after 5 minutes, you realise, I am. Unless something is obviously going to hurt me, nothing's going to happen. So that sense of dread was gone.
Stalked or something.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all it was trying to do, I didn't actually think it was really
it's more creepy than anything. This is a weird place.
But Ben raises a very good point there. And you know what? Another bit that got me was when I realised I didn't have a weapon for so long. And once you lose that thing of I can't get hurt, all those things that made me go, oh, this is cool, this is atmosphere, this is scary, made me go, this is just gross. It's a bit disgusting.
Yeah, and that grossness you get over quite quickly, I find. Like, that's... But a lot of people have been describing this game as beautiful, and I don't disagree with the fact that the style and the grotesqueness or whatever could be beautiful. I'm not disagreeing with that. They're talking about like the actual graphics of the game, and I'm just interested to see what you guys felt about the graphics. How good did you...
Yeah, I can see your notes that you don't think it's great. I thought it looked good.
It's next gen only, this game, and people are saying, "Oh, looks fantastic."
I think it does. I liked. I don't know. Is it the fogness of it all? I think it looked good. I wasn't blown away at any stage, but
this was the bit. The bit where I thought it looked best was when you could see the sky in the first zone.
Oh yeah,
like when it opens out a couple times and you can see sort of like uplit shots of the sky. In like a wider space. He had a bit of a vista. I was like, okay, this looks great.
Yep.
The rest of the time, I wouldn't have noticed detailing in the graphics anyway, because you're on rails.
So
so why do I care about what's around me if I'm on fucking rails?
When I realised that I like the graphics are fine, but this is next gen only, and people have been praising the hell out of it, saying it looks amazing, and I don't agree. I think it looks fine. But I was playing at one point on the Steam Deck on the cloud because I couldn't be asked to sit down and have to fucking play this at a monitor anymore. But I was playing on the Steam Deck, so I looked away. I was loading it up, and I looked away, and then looked back down, and the load up screen is like an image, just like almost like a picture, a drawn picture image or whatever. I looked up, looked back, and I thought, oh, why hasn't it loaded in? And then I moved, and I was like, oh right, no, that's just what it looks like. I was like, damn it! I didn't think it looked that impressive. I think close up, the actual character. At one point, you get this like little creature thing, and yes, okay, looks quite. But if Dead Space, people banging on about how good this. If Dead Space comes out and the lighting and the world, if it looks like this, I'd be like, what the fuck do you spend your money on?
Wow! Hopefully, a compelling narrative then. Hopefully,
yeah, but I thought, what have they been spending their fucking time on? Like, anyway, and the audio, it glitched on me so that I could only, after a couple of hours, so that I could only hear my character. I couldn't hear the world anymore, and I didn't have any music because the audio is disassociated to the world. The eerie music stuff going on. When you pause it, it resets it. Like, what the fuck is going on there? It's disconnected. I loaded in my save and it's like, okay, there's no audio. I did everything. I did everything to try and get this back. I had to go back to a previous save to get this. I was like, Jesus, do I have to play this again? Like, it's so annoying.
Was it just a section without audio?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't. I even went onto YouTube to see someone's playthrough to make sure that it wasn't a section without audio. And I was like, what the fuck is going on
I'd
here?
have loved it if you'd reloaded it, got back to the same point, and were like, oh, there's just no audio.
That would have been my bad. But the gameplay of this, as I said, it's a puzzle game.
Oh, let's talk gameplay, yeah.
So it's a puzzle game. Generally, the puzzles are easy and boring. You come to the first main puzzle, and this isn't a spoiler, it's really early on, so fucking get over it. But there's like eggs on a wall, and you've got to move them in a particular way to solve this puzzle. It's a puzzle on a wall. Like, it's just, why is that even? So many questions about these puzzles where you're just like, why? Why is this a thing? Why does this exist? Who's put this here? Like, it has no...
What practical builder created this?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
As a method for entry.
It doesn't make any sense. Why is this a puzzle? Why does it? And if it were a puzzle, if that were a solution to make that happen, you wouldn't, as a character, go, "Oh, this is a puzzle I have to solve." Like, you wouldn't say that to yourself. And that first one on the wall was a fucking IQ test. So everything else is just like, "Oh, click here until things happen," and then that was a fucking test. And then the other things to like make things happen in the world. It seems like there's like not a rhyme nor reason. It's just, oh, there was this body on the floor over there that I had to pick something off. And if you just always missed that, you'd just be walking around for 10 minutes and be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So this is where I have to admit, I played this game twice for about the same amount of time. And it was just after that first significant puzzle then that I got to. And that was the point where I went, you finish it, it works, and you go, I already know what this game is.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
No satisfaction. Just
none of, like,
get it.
This was it. I tried to interact with stuff. It didn't work. I ran around, tried to commit suicide. Didn't work. Ran around more. Found that. Solved the puzzle. Okay, no, not for me. Like, that was the moment for me. That was it where I went like, this is just not going to be my game.
Especially without a sense of purpose.
Yeah, like, this is it. You come into that game, you're not given any reason for what you're doing or why you want to do it. You're not given any compelling reason to search for a solution. Yeah. In my opinion. Like, I don't care if that guy makes it out. I don't even know if there is a way to make it out.
Yeah, it's sort of the character, like, why would he be trying, like, how does he know moving forward is any better than what he's in now?
Exactly. Does he need to eat? You don't really see that. Does he need to sleep? We don't really see that either. So he can just stay where he is, surely. Like, it makes absolutely no difference.
What do you think, Eddie, of the puzzle stuff?
I mean, I hate puzzles in games. I really do not understand the link to it. And I also thought this puzzle has got to be one of the worst puzzles to have in a game. Because it wasn't a puzzle like you're rewarded with skill. It is, that needs to get to there. I know how to do it, but it's just time consuming, me moving all this shit to certain places. Yeah. It's not skill based. It wasn't intelligence based. It was just time consuming based. So I was pissed off with it. I was already pissed off with the game. I forced myself to play all the way up until combat. And I'm gutted. I'm fucking gutted I did that, because obviously that was a big fucking clusterfuck. You know what I hate most about this game though is not the fact that it's a shit game, which it is. Is the fact that they obviously went in the direction of, let's just make everything a little bit disgusting. To the look of things, to the things that you have to do, you know, when you're carting that thing around and then you have to hurt it and then you have to kill it and the noises that it makes. Like when you slip your fingers into things and it makes that sound. And it's just, and I every time I heard it, I went, someone has obviously gone, oh, that's great, they'll find that disgusting. But why have they done that? If it's not, like, if it's the one-off just to get people going like, oh, that was disgusting. But it's not, it's all the time. And it's just, all is forgiven if it's a good game. But it's not a good game.
I think your point there, building on that, it's like, I don't mind the grotesqueness, that's all good, but it's like you take away the grotesqueness and what you're actually left with is something so incredibly basic.
Yes.
Like that doesn't have any USP. I mean, so we talked about combat. It like moves on to combat, and you get a weapon. Then I think there's 4 weapons in the whole game. And
fuck me, only 4, and that first weapon is an absolute joke.
I think there's 7 chapters in the game. I am only at the end of chapter 5, so I haven't experienced everything.
You've played this.
I haven't experienced everything. I'm not like fully there, whatever. But yeah, so I think there's 5 acts, 7 chapters, kind of thing. So, I wanted to experience the combat and everything, and the combat is pretty good. The thing about the combat is that I think this is trying to be like a survival horror.
It's definitely trying to be.
But it's not really a survival horror because like you have to kill a lot of shit. And it's like in Resident Evil and stuff, you could just like run away and like not do that, or like there's only certain things that you have to kill. But this is what really got me about and I know this has been documented everywhere, but I am currently at a point, and I said this to you, Pete, last night, where I don't want to play any more of it. I was like, I have to play that fucking Scorn again tonight. And I said to you, I'm at a point where I have like so little health, but I have to do this part of a puzzle, and then I have to run down a hall, and I've got this like slug thing coming towards me, and I can't strafe or get around it, and it always hits me, and then I have to go back like 10 minutes because there's not a manual save in this game. Like if this game had slightly different mechanics on its save system and its health system, I think it'd be so much more. It'd be better, but I'm having to replay the same bit to like work out how to do something and to get past something. And you could just say, okay, well, you just got to get good. But I don't want to have to play something a million times to try and fucking get past a little thing, which is just such a small element of the game. But you've locked in to a save point my health of being really low.
Yeah.
And like the places to replenish your health are not around me. So what do I do? Like, do I have to go back on a previous save which is even further back? And if I did that, I wouldn't know what part of the puzzle I'm at because there's nothing to kind of indicate that to me really. So I don't get what they were doing there. Like, if you've created this world which you're like happy with, let's say you are really into that world and it looks really good and you're like, yeah, this is fucking banging, just fucking have a little session with some people playing your game and say like, well, what don't you like about it? And if you're purposely putting that in your game as a thing, you're like, okay, this is proper survival horror, then I don't want to play your fucking game then. It's not fun. Like, your game isn't fun. The problem is your game is anti-fun. Like, people were saying on Twitter, like, oh, we need more games like Scorn who are doing different things. Yeah, nothing wrong with doing different things. That's absolutely fine. Your game is anti-fun. Yeah, that's what's wrong with it.
This is the other bit of, like, do different things, but do the basics well.
Yeah, there's basic modern things, or even like a save system where it's obvious. It doesn't even tell you when it's doing the checkpoint autosave. So you're like, well, where did that happen? And it's just annoying, and it's boring, and it's a chore. And if you are really liking this game, then fair play. I see a lot of people who are kind of almost championing this game as like a I'm better because I like this game.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah. This always happens, to be fair. Just fuck off.
It does. This is the thing, is I remember, do you remember a game called Myst?
I didn't play it.
Didn't, but you'll probably know of it.
I do know of it, yeah. Yeah. With a Y, isn't it? MYS?
Yes, exactly that. So this was a game that I enjoyed when I was much younger. And there's some similarity in that there were puzzles quite a lot of the times. There were complex mechanisms to work through, that sort of stuff. But from the very outset, you had a reason to do it. Like, you were searching for an island called Myst. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
And it gave you a reason to care. It gave you a reason to go into it and go, I want to get through this. I want to actually see the end. This one, there just isn't one. It's just vacuous. Like, there's no reason to do anything.
Yeah, I think that lack of reasoning thing is like it's quite integral to a video game to have purpose, because I don't want to go back to it. and it doesn't really fit into a right bracket for me. It doesn't fit into a horror game because it's not scary. It doesn't fit into a survival horror game because I think its mechanics around being a survival horror aren't fantastic. It doesn't fit into a first-person shooter because it's garbage, and it doesn't fit into any as entertainment because for me it's anti-fun. So I don't really know what it's for.
It's for people on Twitter to act with levity about them.
Well, no, but the thing is, there will be a group of people that do like it, and if you like it and you really genuinely like it, then fucking brilliant. And and maybe that's who it appeals to. The problem one of the big problems I have with this, and this may be an unpopular opinion as well, and we've had quite a few this episode, but here's another one. This is a reason when Xbox gets exclusives like this. It wasn't made by Microsoft, but gets exclusives like this on Game Pass. This is one of the reasons that a lot of people think that you just get like useless crap come onto Game Pass.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big release, and it was like, as in, like, people were looking forward to it, and it was like on the showcase and everything. It was great. And I honestly, like, when I was playing, I didn't look at the Metacritic before playing this because I really wanted to like it. I was well up for this game. Like, I told us all to play. I told you guys you had to play it and all this kind of like, we're all going to play this game.
Thanks for that.
I didn't look at it, and I played the first hour and a half, 2 hours, and I went, I reckon it's probably between 40 and 60.
Yeah.
And I looked on, and it was like 72. I thought, wow, that's good. This must get better. Didn't.
72, is it? Oh, that is so tragic.
I am surprised, yeah.
I mean, could just be wrong, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not, maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I'm not intelligent enough to get it. Maybe I just don't get it.
Yeah, listen to the hatred on online.
Yeah,
if you don't like this game, you're not a real gamer.
Yeah, exactly. And not all games are for everyone, absolutely. All that kind of trope, yeah, fine, get that. But I just really was disappointed because I wanted this to be a thing, and I think it does, like, give that thing on Game Pass where it's like, oh, you get a lot of crap. Come on. And this, for me personally, is an example of that.
Someone gave it 100. The Attack of the Fanboy gave it 100.
There you go. But I don't, and I could be completely wrong, but it's almost like, it is that feeling of like, are you just liking this because it's different? Or you want to be different? Because seems bad. Like, I like the differentness of it. It just seems like a bad video game to me.
Yeah.
Where would be the replayability as well? Like, what?
I don't think there is any. I think once you're done, you're done. I think what they've done is created a unique setting, and then just forgotten to put a game in it. That's my view, anyway. Yes,
that is a very, very good point. Could have made a great world, and then, all right, now should we put a game in it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's just throw in a few random board games as puzzles, and we'll move beyond it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably enough about Scorn, to be honest.
And that's the last time we'll ever talk about it, guys. So good.
Cool.
Did you play anything else, Ben? Did you want to mention?
Oh yeah, I'll just mention that I was playing Death Stranding a lot on Steam Deck. It was crashing a lot. I was doing a lot of things to try and sort it. Even Punk tried to help with protons and stuff like that on Steam Deck. But the impressive thing the takeaway, and there might be something in this, is that I went on to 505 Games website. And I asked them, and I said, I've got a technical issue with the Steam Deck version, which is a verified version of Death Stranding Director's Cut, which should work. It should not be crashing. And they responded within 24 hours and gave me some things to try and troubleshoot and fix the game. And I've done those, and they've said to come back to them and tell them what happens. So I thought that was very impressive. That's my takeaway.
Definitely.
Really good that they came back within 24 hours.
That's cool.
But it tells you the point I was at to have to message 5.
It does, and this is why I knew it would. This is why I knew it would want to get mentioned. Is because you were texting me about this, and it all started out with like, "Do you know about protons and how it relates to Steam?" And then it goes into Linux, and then it's like, "Right, Ben, why has this come up? Oh, my game keeps crashing, and Punk's fixing it." Like, right, okay, like finally get to what the actual point of this was.
Yeah, exactly. And then fucking go to the developers.
Yeah, that's what it took in the end. But I suppose you should thank Punk for getting you to that stage.
Well, we'll see. We'll see whether it does actually. I played another hour and a half earlier with 0 crashes. So let's just see.
Fantastic.
We'll move on. We will move on.
We will, and it brings us to our feature now. Which,
Lovely.
as we mentioned at the beginning, it's sort of a look at the games we're most excited for in the close of 2022. Which, as you've seen from this week's new releases, is really ramping up. I think that's the longest ever new releases section we've had, guys.
Well, it was stacked to the rafters, so that's what's important.
It's an absolute mammoth, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how we want to approach this, because we're definitely not going to list every game that's coming out, because that would take us 7 or 8 years.
Fucking hell.
So shall we just focus on our own personal highlights?
Yeah. Let's do that. I think mine are more of the generic big ones. So if we want to do that, and then jump into yours, because you have some nice obscure ones, don't you? So,
as you expect from us.
So the big one's coming out. Bayonetta 3 is obviously coming out at the end of this month. We've talked about a lot. Now I won't talk about
we're boycotting that, right?
Yeah, we are boycotting that.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So obviously we've got some big games this week, but then Bayonetta 3, we got start next month in November. We have God of War and Sonic Frontiers, which I'm fucking Sonic Frontiers. I'm all about. So those two, they've got Football Manager, which is coming to Game Pass. We've got Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which is open world Pokemon for the first time ever. That's gonna be fucking badass. And then the Callisto Protocol going into December. Like, Jesus, just take a moment and just say that is February all over again. Like, for me personally, how many games do I have to buy? Like, that's why I'm thinking maybe Sparks of Hope is not something I get this week, because kids got to save some money. Like, I'm going to have to trade in games left, right, and centre to get all these. Like, I can't be dropping fucking 300 quid on video games.
But you've mentioned February already, Ben, so I've got a question for you there. Which of these is your Elden Ring?
Oh, okay. So
Sonic.
I mean, it could well be Sonic Frontiers, couldn't it?
It is Sonic. And I know I sound like an absolute fucking idiot saying that. And I appreciate that. I appreciate I'm a fucking idiot, but I don't care. Sonic Frontiers is my most anticipated game, followed by Pokemon.
Fair.
And then followed by all the rest, and then God of War.
Nice. No. Savage on God of War, but nice.
A God of War drive-by, just to see that up.
Take it after
just to
listing
piss
it
off
amongst
so many people as well. Yeah,
I know. And there's so many people going, "What the?"
Yeah, honestly, if the Venn diagram for God of War is similar to Scorn, you are in trouble after this one.
Honestly, I said Sonic Frontiers, I think, comes out the day before God of War, and when I've got both in my hand on that Friday, what's going in the PlayStation? Sonic.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah. And which one do you think is going to have, of those again, which one do you think is going to have the biggest effect on the market, sort of thing, on the industry? Because I get the feeling it's Pokemon, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be such a change. Now, God of War is obviously going to just smash everything, and I think it'll be a contender for Game of the Year, and no doubt that is going to be, in many people's eyes, 10 out of 10 material. Fair play. I think the one that is going to change, the ones that are going to change the game, Sonic and Pokemon, I think really are going to put it out there. I'm really interested to see what the Callisto Protocol is going to do, considering that Dead Space is coming out in January. And Kirk made an excellent point in our group chat this week, saying that the Callisto Protocol, you could pick it up maybe for about 45 quid if you try and get it now, whereas Dead Space cheapest you're going to get probably around 55, 60 quid on a deal somewhere. So it's a well-priced game. It's very Dead Space, so that's great. But yeah, changing the game and the landscape and all that kind of stuff, Sonic Frontiers and Pokemon, I think, really going to shake things up.
Yeah.
The problem with Callisto Protocol is that we've just had Scorn come out, which is a banger of a game. So will people even want to play that when that comes out?
I suppose we'll still be playing Scorn at that point.
Yeah, 71 on Metacritic.
There we go.
And such replayability, yeah. But no, I think Callisto Protocol is obviously on my list as well. I'm really looking forward to that game, more than Dead Space at this point. I think because it's unknown, in a sense, you know what I mean?
Me too, actually. I'm looking forward to both, but me too.
I think this one's got a lower floor and a higher ceiling, if you know what I mean. Like, Dead Space is going to be comfortably in a very good game.
I honestly
This
think
one-
Callisto Protocol is gonna in my mind. I don't see it being anything lower than a low 80s score on Metacritic.
I
I think it's gonna nail it. I really, because they've been so confident in showing
They have.
gameplay,
Yeah.
and the mechanics. They're just like, yeah, this is our game. It looks fucking great. This is what we're working with, and they've been keeping everyone up to date at every point.
And if Scorn gets
absolute banger.
72, fucking hell, if this doesn't get at least a 95, then what the fuck are we doing?
It's actually, they've changed the scale, guys. We didn't realise.
It's going backwards. Yeah, fine. Fine.
There'll
But
be
no,
people
yeah.
listening going like, these guys don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, and I implore them to get in touch
And that's
with us
fine.
tell
And
us why
that's
not.
absolutely fine. That's
Tell
that's
us
fair.
why
We don't-
Scorn is a good game.
Because you know what? We just have a microphone. We don't fucking know anything.
But if you honestly believe Scorn is good, please get in touch with us and tell us why. Because I
Wow,
can't
Pete got
wait
really
to
close to the
come back to
microphone
you.
when he gets in the mic like that.
do that again. Do that. You need full on ASMR to tell people.
What, you want me to come up right close to the mic like this? Right on real close. Start going down the sort of Barry White type route. No, I can't do that. Anyway,
Fuck just happened.
so other
Why
than
were you
Callisto
insulting
Protocol,
Sasha Grey? Sorry.
I don't know why he went for Sasha Grey again.
Yeah,
but
come on. Leave her
I
alone.
do not like her. She messed him up. That's why. She's a bitch.
he's a good Christian boy.
No,
you
Vinny
forget
did that to himself.
No, he didn't. Leave him alone.
Right, can we not jump back on Entourage at this stage? Anyway.
We're a gaming podcast, guys.
We gave it enough. We gave it enough. I should say one of the other ones that's a hinge for me here is A Plague Tale Requiem. I'm really looking forward to that. And oddly enough,
Absolutely.
it's almost through this podcast because you talking about it on the podcast was what made me pay
Yeah,
attention
yeah.
to the
Ben
first
really
one.
sold it to me. Yeah, the first one.
So I'm very keen to jump into this, and it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I'll be playing that one tomorrow, no doubt.
Yeah, and then I'd actually say two of the other releases this week have jumped onto my list. One being Pegasus Expedition, which, if it's got a bit more depth, I'm going to really get into. And Victoria 3 has actually jumped in because I've gone, you know what? I probably should play one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Vicky
'cause I
3.
skipped Vicky
Give it
3,
give it its
yeah.
proper name. Vicky is nickname.
The Paradox Reddit.
You've
going mad with it.
played enough Paradox games to be on nickname terms with that game. Come on.
Exactly. So I think that may well be another one that I jump into. But there's two others, one of which I know Eddie will be looking into as well. But the first one I'll mention is Alliance of the Sacred Sons, which, I'll be honest, it's a TBC 2022 date. So let's be honest, it's probably going to end up being pushed back at this stage, I would say. But I played the demo at EGX. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks really
like
nice.
it's got
What is that
depth.
game, Pete? What is that game?
It's another grand strategy sci-fi.
Yeah,
Ah,
in
right, okay.
space. Yeah, the UI, and let's be honest, UI is everything in those games. Is gorgeous.
Yeah, and it gave me the sense that it was trying to do a sort of like Dune political type scene thing. So you had lots of great houses, you had to control them within your empire, that sort of thing. I like that. I think that's a really good idea. So I'm very, very keen to see that come forward.
Yeah, agreed.
And I would have enjoyed the demo a lot more if it hadn't been on shared microphones in a mixed gaming space. So you literally, if someone died or screamed or whatever, it came through your headphones, which was weird. Especially as people were playing very different games. But the last one to mention, obviously, is Biotech, the RimWorld expansion.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
That's out soon, isn't it? In a week or something?
It's out before the end of this month, yes. So I think it is next week, basically.
Cool.
And oddly enough, it's the first RimWorld official expansion. I'm not that keen on getting.
It's your God of War.
Kind of, yeah. I'm looking at it going, it's cool, but the bits I wanted from this I could probably already get from mods.
Yeah, get it from mods. Yeah, exactly.
And there's quite a few bits that I didn't really want. Like, even the controlling the, what are they called? Mechanoids. I kind of liked having an enemy you couldn't do anything about, especially if you're on a tribal playthrough and they drop it and it's just like, oh, right, I'm dead. I don't know, having control over them just doesn't appeal to me at the moment. What do you think, Eddie? Because I'm sure you're looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it only because it's a new excuse to go play RimWorld again without Ben shouting at me. You
Yes.
can't play RimWorld. So yeah,
I
I'm
never
excited.
sound like that.
Yeah, that's what we sound like.
I thought you were talking.
Yes,
Right,
sorry.
very good, yeah.
That's a caveat. This is Christopher speaking right now. I'm going to get it because I got the last two because I said I was supporting the developers. So I guess I've got to just keep on buying them. So
That's what you said, wasn't it?
it's the only reason why I'm buying it. So I don't know. At what stage do I stop? But to be fair, I've got 2,000 hours in the game, so I guess I should never stop, right?
I mean, if there's one person that can justify that expenditure on that game, then yes, it's you. Per hour.
2,054 hours, actually. Sorry. That's there you go. But that's going to go up when this new very shit-looking add-on
by 5 hours.
If only you knew how many more hundreds I'm going to put into it. Shall I go up next? You guys, you've been pretty boring with your choices. At least Pete went outside the realm a bit. I like that. I've got RimWorld, Biotech, Football Manager 2023. It's funny, I'm not really looking forward to them, but I'm going to get them.
You're going to play them.
You're going to play hundreds of hours.
It's on Game Pass, Football Manager. So.
There you go, yeah. I mean, I play it every day, so I guess I'm going to get it. Zero Sievert, the game that I just talked about. Obviously, that comes out next month. Probably going to get that if they fix that problem. Blood Bowl 3, they've been very quiet. Was it 6 months ago they said it's coming out this year? And haven't heard anything since. So
they didn't mean calendar year; they meant within a year of that statement.
Smart. I'm excited for that. I will definitely get it. I think last time I bought full Blood Bowl 2, I bought full price as well as 1. I was disappointed both times because they do that sneaky little thing of only releasing certain factions.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to spend another 15 fucking quid to get the faction you want. But hey ho, that's how game developers do it now. Another one, Night is Coming. This is like a survival building and development simulation game set in a fantasy world where there's like werewolves and stuff. Nice. I think this kind of, it looks quite nice. I'm going to get it, probably. There's another game called I Am Future. It's another kind of life sim. It's basically in a sunken world where you've got skyscrapers and you control one guy and you run around, build a base, that sort of stuff. I think that looks quite interesting. Occupy Mars.
Oh, this looks great.
Yeah.
This looks fucking good.
Mentioned this one a few times. It's a high technical open world sandbox survival base building game on Mars.
I don't think it's ever coming out though.
Yeah, I would have put this on mine as well, Ed, but I don't think it's coming out.
I don't believe it's ever coming out. I don't think it's ever coming out.
It's just never going to come out.
Yeah, it looks too good and they never talk about it.
It does look too good, yeah. And they still say on Steam coming out this year, 2022.
No, they've just forgotten about it, Eddie. It's done.
They've just abandoned it. They just ran away.
Is this our Sisyphus where you can never quite get it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just left it. Right. That would be a shame because this looks fucking amazing. And then the last one is a game called The Pioneers: Surviving Desolation, which is a colony management game. If you like your colony management games, I highly recommend you look it up. It's like dark and gritty, which I've never really experienced with a proper colony management game.
This is the one where you're like on asteroids, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I've seen it in space stations, all the gameplay I've seen.
Yeah, it's reminded me a lot of RimWorld, I think, for obvious reasons as well.
Yeah, like RimWorld, but better graphics and darker and grittier.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of, if you ask me to say what a perfect game is, I'd just say RimWorld, but then, if I had to, I'd add on dark and gritty as well. Yeah. So, I'm really, really looking forward to that game.
This summarizes perfectly, like Eddie being... All of your games are pretty much all of them are out there indie type games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pete's like a halfway house between, grand strategy, bit of indie and some mainstream, but pretty just a couple of mainstream, and I am full mainstream gamer.
Yes, you are. Look at that
I am
list.
so shit. I'm just like the sucker for advertised big budget games.
Ben, you know what's really good about this thing? So I didn't have a lot of time to prep for this podcast, and I quickly went down to our feature because I was like, that's the thing you need to focus on. And I had loads of tabs open to copy and paste names over. I looked at your picks and went, I don't need to look up any of them. I know every single one. I know all the mechanics of everyone.
I feel so lame
easy.
just having those games.
What I love, we've learnt so much about our niches in the last few weeks. Because it wasn't long ago we realised that Ben had all female-led games.
Yes.
I had the ones where gender was superfluous. And then he had, like, classic 80s action men games.
Some sexy men, yeah.
You're always the halfway house. Like, that's what we've...
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, I feel so lame with my decision. Anyway, let's move it on.
That's a great way to leave it. Ben feels lame. Eddie's got some great out there choices, and I'm sort of weaving around everywhere.
I like that.
You're partly lame and partly...
Exactly, yeah. I'm halfway between lame and... Are we saying Eddie's cool? I don't like that.
I know! This is the greatest show in my life, I think.
Yeah. Should we just... Eddie's gone rogue. That's the key.
Yes, yeah. That's what we know. But even rogue sounds cool. So anyway, move it on.
Rogue is the kind of person I choose as my favourite character. So yeah. Eddie's gone rogue. Okay, they call me Max Payne.
No one calls you that.
No, that's just the sound of you walking. Anyway,
Jesus.
Should we do the socials in case anyone wants to tell us what they're looking for?
Yes, if we've obviously missed some big game, or we've done many unpopular opinions today. If you've got a contrary
go on,
opinion,
tell us why Scorn's good.
Yeah,
tell us
why Scorn's good.
You know, we as we said, we're just people with microphones. We don't have a fucking clue. So, email us podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk. You can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. Our YouTube channel is Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and Twitch is Grumpy Gamers Podcast, all one word. And we stream 7 p.m. Thursdays on YouTube and Twitch.
Fantastic. But for this week, it's GG.
GG.
GG.